Alright, I like to call these XYR problems. So the first little story we have here, it says the cotangent of theta is negative 10 over 7. Theta is in quadrant 2. So remember, if theta is in quadrant 2, that's over here where x's are negative and y's are positive. They told us, and they asked me to find cosine of theta. I know cosine of theta is x over r. I know cotangent is x over y, so things that I already know is I know that x must be negative 10 and y must be 7. And you might ask, how did you know that the negative was attached to the x and not to the y? Well, that has to do with if you are in the second quadrant over here, you know that the x part's negative and the y part's positive. So to find cosine, I need to know x over r, so the part that I'm missing is r. So I know Pythagorean theorem tells me that x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, or negative 10 squared plus 7 squared is equal to r squared, or 100 plus 49 is equal to r squared, or 149 equal to r squared, or r is the square root of 149. Okay? So I know r is equal to the square root of 149. So to figure out the cosine of theta then, it's pretty simple. It's just x over r. So negative 10 over square root of 149. But we cannot leave a radical in the denominator. It's bad mathematics, and I do not like my numbers on the trashy side. So I'm going to rationalize my denominator. So I multiply numerator and denominator by the square root of 149, which gives me negative 10 square root of 149 over 149, and that would be my answer. All right, just simply an XYR problem. I knew what x was, I knew what y was, I knew it was in quadrant 2, and that helped me differentiate where the negative sign went. All right, so let's do another one. The next problem here, it says the secant of theta is 9 over 4, and it's in quadrant 4. So if I'm in quadrant 4, that means it's over here. And in quadrant 4, I know x's are positive, y's are negative. Secant, if you recall, is r over x. So in terms of x, y, and r, the things that I already know is I know r would be 9, and I know x is 4. And the value that I'm missing is I don't know what y is yet. But I do know x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. And so this would be 4 squared plus y squared is equal to 9 squared, or 16 plus y squared is equal to 81. So y squared is going to be equal to 81 minus 16. So over here I'm just going to do a real quick, you do not need to get out a calculator because I believe you had to pass 3rd grade to be in my class. So 11 minus 6 is 5. We borrowed one, so 7 minus 1 is 6. So I get that y squared is equal to 65. That was y squared, or y is equal to plus or minus square root of 65. Now I don't know for sure whether it's going to be positive or negative, but since they told me that here that it was in quadrant 4, I know that the y value is negative. So it's actually going to be negative square root of 65. Now, the problem asked me to find the cotangent of theta. I know that cotangent of theta is x over y. And so when I do this problem, then it'll be x, which is 4, over y, which is negative square root of 65. Oh, but once again, I cannot leave that radical in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by square root of 65. So I'll get 4 root 65 over 65, and of course it was a positive over negative, so this whole answer was still going to be negative. So my answer would actually be negative 4 root 65 over 65, and you wouldn't really be able to simplify that anymore.